in there. Should read topic number 2 says, what do y'all think of this proposal? A viable way of taking the hair industry back? Question mark. This came with a link that takes us to Twitter. On Twitter, KWAZ, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He says, if every black person, this is a tweet, he says, if every black person agreed to grow locks, dreadlocks, and made it a standard, if not primary, method of hairstyling and or maintenance, not only would we curtail rival groups by making over $3 billion of their annual profits suddenly disappear, but we would boost our own hair beauty industry and provide ourselves with thousands of jobs. Retweet if you love black people. And he says, this is coming from a bald guy, by the way. I'm going to retweet because I love black people. So let me just retweet that, and I'll retweet the original post as well. But that's an interesting thing. That figure that he put out there is interesting. Is that the actual figure? Is this hair industry, is our portion in this hair industry worth over $3 billion annually? Wow. Then that means the spending power of black folks is higher than what they've been saying. If that's what they're making off of us annually, that means the spending power of black folks in the States is higher than what they've been saying. But that's a plan. At least he's thinking about plans. Let me hear what you guys have to say about it. So you guys in the chat, drop your comments. I'll read as many of them as I can during the live stream. So just drop your comments. NYC Sports Archive says, good evening. Peace to you. Thanks for coming through. Athrazar says, love to you guys. I'm diminishing my online presence. Just putting my music out on YouTube or working on things offline. Love and respect to all of you. Thanks for all you've done to educate me. I appreciate you too. You guys, again, check out and subscribe to Athrazar's YouTube channel. Again, Shooter Breeze topic number 2 is, what do y'all think of this proposal? A viable way of taking the hair industry back? Question mark. Real Black Gentleman, do you think this will work? What do you think about it?
I mean, I think it's a start. Yeah, anything that gets away from the straighteners and the relaxers. I mean, the whole, like, even with the men back in the, you know what I'm saying, the days with the conks, you know, the Jerry curl, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, I mean, keep a clean fro. You don't have to be too big. You know what I'm saying? Little locks, tighten them up. You know what I'm saying? Snip them up as you need to be. Keep it washed up. Low maintenance. I mean, you don't put the maintenance on. Have some people, you know what I'm saying, you can tighten it up. You know what I'm saying? Give you you can tighten you up. I mean, barbers, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, it is clearly better than you know what I'm saying, buying fake hair or buying other people's hair. Lord knows if it was cleaned all the way. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not a woman. I don't buy weave. I don't know what that's like. So I just think that is kind of goofy. I mean, I like a good, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hair is a difficult subject because, I mean, for a woman, I mean, I just look at it. I don't have to have it on my head. You know what I'm saying? 24/7. I think that anything that would encourage more, an indigenous look or classic look for that is not necessarily like anything that anyone else can do, because I mean, black people's hair is different, so we should be able to do different stuff with it. And anything that we can do that makes our hair look a little bit different, I'd go for. The whole blonde thing, although I have seen like blonde and like redheaded mummies for real, so I know that our people did, you know what I'm saying, color our hair, and some of our people still do. You know what I'm saying? They have the little dyes and stuff. It's like you gotta keep that shit with a cultural context. You can't just blue, you know what I'm saying? Powder blue is not it. That just dumb red is not it. It has to, you know what I'm saying? Like what's your cultural continuity with this hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? The platinum look is no. I understand gray hair you know what I'm saying? Gray hair is as people get older, people have graying hair, but it's not all platinum. It's not platinum blonde. So anything that I love a good lock. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good look on you know what I'm saying, whether it be the dreadlocks or the little short little box locks. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think it's a nice style. I'm all for classic hairstyles of black people.
Appreciate that, RBG. Peace to Brother Bakari out there. He says peace and Black Power. Trigger Happy 262 Plus says, like I said, it's pretty simple. Wear our hair and hairstyles, ban their hair products, and restrict anyone wearing the hair products. Also, ban bleach. NYC Sports Archive says red ochre. He says our ancient ancestors used red ochre in their hair, I guess. Lastly, Everything is Politics says, according to particular scholarships within the Black thought leadership space, Black folks have no buying power. Apparently, all this millions/billions are debt. That's interesting. Has anyone else heard that before? Let's go to Buana. He can respond to the prompt and to that as well.
I think that idea, you have to sell that to the ladies. You have to sell that idea to the ladies. The ladies, in terms of uniformity, you had the big Black Power movement when the sisters was wearing afros and wearing the naturals. That is gone and come back. You see little vestiges of that all over the Black world. It depends on where you are. But Black women like the weaves for some reason, bro. I mean, listen, man, it'll be very difficult to try to sell Black women on the idea of just one dreadlocks or dreads, idea. Even if it's beneficial to them, bro, you could get a fight with that. You could get a fight with that. That's a fight that I do not want to get into. And in terms of dealing with their daughters' hairs, it's just, oh God, man, that's a fight that I don't want to get into. With the men, in terms of hair care and things like that, I think that we could do more in terms of the engineering side of the clippers and how clippers are made. Right now, some of the best clippers in the world, you just sell. I don't know if we have industries like that to create clippers and things like that, to design them in a specific way that will cut Black hair better. But there's always improvements being done every day on how clippers are being made. Back in the day, there's an old form of how clippers is made. Now it's new forms of how clippers are actually being made. That's cutting the hair better. Because we usually wear the natural. We usually wear that. Now they wear man units, which is a whole other thing. But I think that we could do more in terms of the engineering of the clippers and how that's made and presented. We could also do certain things on the hair brushes. These are things that we use on a daily basis. In terms of the bristles, what is the best kind of bristle for Black hair in particular. So you have to make a brush that has bristles that is actually very good for Black hair. So all these things, I think that we could do very well, and as far as barbering and that field of endeavor. But as far as hair itself and women, oh gosh, man, that's a fight that I do not want to get into. In terms of what the last prompt, in terms of debt and our buying power, there's a lot of truth to that on both ends. Our consumer power is very strong all over globally. In terms of what we buy Jordans. Jordans ain't a debt, bro. We buy Jordans every year. Every year the Jordans come out, we spend into the hundreds of millions of dollars buying Jordans. That's not necessarily debt. That's expendable income. That's expendable income. What do you call it? I forget the kind of English call it. But we spend into the millions of dollars in using that. But we do have a whole lot of debt as well. So there's truth to what you're saying, but it's not the complete side of the story. So I agree with that, not completely. But I'll just leave it there though. I'll leave it there for now.
Ron Bakari in the chat says he constantly is getting commercials during the live. I think that's on me, Bakari. I forgot about those complaints because these complaints came a couple weeks ago because of YouTube's monetization thing. I have to go in there and unclick that. So I'm getting these ads because that's a part of being monetized type thing. So I'll go in and undo that after this episode. Hopefully I can remember. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
quickly. Trigger happy say you must buy it and enforce it. You know who did that? You know who did that? Trigger happy? Idi Amin. When Idi Amin was in office, he banned wigs. He banned certain things, but he had the ability to do it because he was the ultimate authority. He wasn't living in a democratic society where you go to vote every 4 years and they could elect and re-elect. In this country, I wish he could ban it, but the politician who decides to ban the import of wigs, the import of bleaching creams, the import of perms, I promise you, the next electoral year, he will not be reelected because the majority of your voting base is females. So you gotta sell them on the idea of wearing their natural hair first, bro. That's a fight I won't go. I will go into that fight. That's a war I don't want to wage, brother. I could try to wage the war I won't win. That kind of war, I don't want to get in that kind of war, brother.
In the chat, it was said by Trigger Happy 262 that Jared Ball pushes the idea of black people not having buying power. He hasn't read his book yet. To that, KW Don 7 said Jared Ball is a biracial with Marxist socialist leanings. I don't think I'm familiar with Jared Ball. NYC Sports Archive says YouTube now stops ad blockers. Okay, that could be a part of the problem too there. Everything is politics, says to KW Don 7. Jared Ball lost his shit when everything is politics, called Jared Ball biracial. He hates that shit, yet so. Bakari said he just got 6, 7, and 8. I apologize. I'll see what I can do on my end. But I believe that's a part of the monetization. And according to NYC Sports Archives, YouTube is blocking the ad blockers now. I didn't realize that. Trigger Happy 262 says, if Idi Amin did that, Idi Amin needs to be studied. Not perfect, but some ideas should be emulated. Also, I don't believe in Western democracies. That's why I say ban it. We shouldn't deal with election. That's the Buana and his retort concerning Idi. When Buana mentioned Idi Amin banned things like that in his time. Is there any other thoughts on this prompt? All right. Let me just add this real quick. There's this sister. Her name is Zili Kaza, I think. Zili Kaza Wa Africa. She's been sharing a lot of posts recently. You guys, if you're on Twitter, follow her. She's been sharing these posts called Hear Me Out. Wear your crown with pride and let your queendom reign. Hashtag Afro Nation. And I just wanted to share this sister here. Just want to share that sister there who out here rocking her, or seemingly her natural hair. That's cool stuff. There was some other posts here too with some other heavily melanated sisters. I think it might be the same sister who was walking earlier. Just looking wonderful. Thought I'll share that. You fellas don't say I ain't never give you nothing. Wanted to share this sister here too. A couple of the sisters who she's talking about during this thread of posts.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all.
Not at all. Brethren of culture, we meet again. Huh? So Hear Me Out is this little thread she's been running. I fully appreciate what she's putting out here. You know, fully appreciate it, and I hope you guys appreciate it too as well. Yes, sir. So I just wanted to share that. In the chat, Brother Bakari says, buying is not power. If you're spending with another people, ain't that the truth? Even the buying power, when people talk about that stuff, I'm like, but yeah, what's the power in giving your money to someone else? You know? Anyway, like I said, since there's no further thoughts on that prompt, let me go ahead and grab Shoot the Breeze topic number 3 tonight. Shoot the Breeze topic